What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. To my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back and watching my video. Thank you so much for the love and support, and greetings to my brothers and sisters all the way from Caribbean country. So guys, in today's video, I want us to watch this video from the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Jamaica. She was giving a speech in United Nations Assembly, and also in her speech, she came out and say how Jamaica it is ready to help some of the Caribbean country. For example, in Haiti, we know that Jamaican soldiers, they are in Haiti, they are trying to bring peace in Haiti. And also, she came out and say how Jamaica it is ready to help some of the country which they are fighting, for example, the Cuba, the Israel. And also, she came out and say how Jamaica it is ready, how Jamaica they are prepared, becoming the richest country in the Caribbean. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
Mr. President, Jamaica is a small island located in the second most climate vulnerable region in the world. We emerged from a brutal history of slavery and colonization, achieving political independence a mere 62 years ago. Until recently, most of our independent history has been characterized by high levels of poverty, debt, and unemployment. But as we chart a course towards sustainable prosperity, we are determined that these characteristics will not define the Jamaica we bequeath to future generations. Against the odds, Jamaica has been building our resilience. Our macroeconomic fundamentals today are stronger than they have been at any time over the past 50 years. Our credit ratings have been upgraded by international rating agencies, and our fiscal credibility has improved. Jamaica is now an attractive destination for investment. Over the last 10 years, in spite of the pandemic, we have more than halved our debt-to-GDP ratio, significantly reduced our poverty rate, brought unemployment to historic lows, and increased our minimum wage by more than 100%. Our management of the economy has created fiscal space that has allowed us to invest more into social welfare, national security, health, and education. Through our national broadband network project, we have increased internet penetration to 77% and internet user penetration to 85.1%. We're closing our domestic digital divide, providing more and better services online. We've also embarked on Jamaica's largest ever expansion and upgrade of infrastructure, using a mixture of pure budgetary financing and public-private partnerships. Mr. President, these advancements have been hard-won. Our effort has required social, political, and international partnership, measured policy, and strategic management. Even as we acknowledge the sacrifices made to enable our achievements, we recognize that many of our successes can be easily eroded by exogenous shocks, including climate change, which we view as a clear and present danger to humanity. As a small island developing state, Jamaica is severely affected by higher temperatures, warmer seas, sea level rise, and the increased intensity and frequency of natural disasters. Hurricane Beryl, which impacted the Caribbean in July this year, was the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record. Beryl resulted in the dislocation of families and communities, along with significant damage to infrastructure, houses, schools, and farms. Damage was most severe in our agricultural belt, wiping out crops, killing livestock, and triggering knock-on effects on higher food prices and inflation. Our new climate-smart agricultural practices were no match for the hurricane. Her winds took the panels for solar-powered irrigation pumps and flattened 70% of our greenhouses. We experience almost a half of every year in the uncertainty of a hurricane season. Natural and climate-based disasters continue to set back efforts to attain the SDGs and realize sustained inclusive growth and development. We've therefore sought to strengthen our ability to respond to and recover from such disasters through a risk-layered approach to disaster response financing. Jamaica, therefore, has significantly increased resources to our contingency fund and the National Natural Disaster Reserve Fund. We have established the National Disaster Fund, triggered by measured impact on GDP, and become the first small island developing state to independently sponsor a catastrophe bond. Additionally, we participate in the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. These mechanisms, however, Mr. President, do not reduce the occurrence of disasters, nor prevent the disruption, dislocation, and destruction that they cause. It bears repeating that no country can combat the effects of climate change on its own. Jamaica, therefore, affirms our unwavering commitment to international cooperation to counter the negative impacts of climate change and to the pursuit of climate justice. We urge the major polluting nations to honor their commitments under the Paris Agreement and to meet their finance obligations. Furthermore, we welcome the adoption of the Antigua and Barbuda Agenda for SIDS, the ABAS, at the 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States. More particularly, Jamaica endorses the call for a redoubling of international cooperation and action to accelerate mitigation and adaptation. All countries must maintain the target of limiting global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius through enhanced NDCs based on the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. Allow me to pause here to congratulate the government of Antigua and Barbuda for successfully hosting the conference. Jamaica calls on the UN and international financial institutions to adopt a new climate finance goal at COP29. We further call for urgent and accelerated mobilization of international action and resources. This includes the full and effective operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund to address issues of responsiveness and scale that are most critical for SIDS. Mr. President, Jamaica welcomes the adoption of the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index. We call on our development partners, including multilateral development banks and other international financial institutions, to urgently examine the index and commence its use. Rather than considering GNI alone, it takes into account the structural and environmental vulnerabilities of SIDS. Its use by MDBs will better align access to and terms of financing with supporting these countries' developmental needs. Jamaica also commits to advancing dialogue and cooperation with stakeholders in the international capital markets to adapt their operations to the vulnerability resilience profiles of SIDS. Improved access to development financing is fundamentally critical for SIDS, which are particularly off track in attaining the SDGs. Mr. President, the SDGs were adopted by leaders as a universal clarion call to tackle poverty, ensure peace, and promote prosperity. Jamaica shares the concern that globally only 17% of the SDG targets are on track. We are proud that our progress is further along domestically, and we fully support and are honored to co-lead the Secretary General's SDG Stimulus Leaders Group. International cooperation is urgently needed to drive sustained efforts to tackle structural and systemic issues that contain access to development finance. Through our collective advocacy, we aim to elevate the global agenda to ensure that no one is left behind. We call upon wealthier countries and the IFIs to partner with developing countries and to redouble their efforts to create and implement innovative strategies to unlock financing and spur investments towards attaining the SDGs. The upcoming 4th International Conference on Financing for Development presents an opportunity to commit to tangible deliverables to address the current financing challenges. These include impactful, practical, and meaningful reform of the international financial architecture, to strengthen the voice and representation of developing countries in international decision-making, and to substantially improve the quantity, accessibility, and affordability of financing for development. Mr. President, this brings me to the Summit of the Future. The adoption of the Pact for the Future, the Declaration on Future Generations, and the Global Digital Compact signaled renewed hope in multilateralism. The consensus demonstrated by our collective resolve to deliver inclusive and durable solutions to current and emerging global challenges brings new hope. With foresight, political will, and joint action, we can deliver a better world for future generations. Jamaica commends the work of Namibia and Germany in their facilitation of the pact, and we were honored to have co-facilitated, together with the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Declaration on Future Generations. Mr. President, Jamaica believes that in leveraging multilateralism to advance sustainable development, human rights, and international peace and security to deliver results for all the peoples of the world. No country or region should be excluded from the opportunities to attain the SDGs. Jamaica therefore joins the call for the discontinuation of the crippling economic, commercial, and financial embargo against our closest Caribbean neighbor, Cuba. We further call for a cessation of the classification of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. These measures continue to have a devastating impact on the economic and social well-being of the people of Cuba and preclude progress towards their attainment of the SDGs. Mr. President, Jamaica also once again condemns the brutal October 7 attacks in Israel and the devastating counterattacks in the Palestinian territories. The undeniable human crisis and instability compel all parties to resolve the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy. We commend the United States, Qatar, Jordan, Egypt, and others who are making concerted efforts towards a peaceful resolution. We continue to support the United Nations Security Council Resolution 242 and believe that a two-state solution is the best way to achieve lasting peace between Israel and Palestine. It is in this context that Jamaica has recognized the state of Palestine, and we call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages to bring an end to the protracted war and human suffering. Mr. President, much closer to home, Haiti continues to face one of the most challenging periods in its storied history. Rampant gangs are causing chronic instability and unspeakable violence, especially against women and children. Millions of Haitians are facing hunger and dislocation. They need and deserve the unwavering support of the international community to restore peace, security, and democracy, and to address the devastating humanitarian crisis. Jamaica will continue to play its part, including through CARICOM and the Eminent Persons Group, in supporting the political process in Haiti. Significant progress has already been made, particularly since the Kingston talks convened by CARICOM in Jamaica in March of this year. We welcome the installation of the Transitional Presidential Council, the appointment of an interim Prime Minister and ministerial cabinet, and the finalization of the Provisional Electoral Council. The Multinational Security Support Mission is critical to the restoration of peace and security in Haiti. We reiterate our gratitude to the government of Kenya for its leadership of and commitment to the MSS. We're pleased to confirm that on the 12th of September, Jamaica deployed its initial command contingent along with Belize as part of the MSS. We are committed to scaling up our numbers. But we also call on the international community to contribute more personnel and equipment. Restoration of peace and security is critical to the creation of an environment in which free and fair elections can be held. The establishment of democratic governance is critical for sustainable economic growth and development for Haiti. Mr. President, since the deployment of the MSS, we have seen improvements in the situation and have reason for cautious optimism. More is needed, however, and time is not on Haiti's side. It is critical that we preserve and advance gains made. It is critical that we maintain hope and stability. We therefore urge the Security Council to renew the mandate of the MSS and to consider future transition to a peacekeeping framework to guarantee funding. We also call for continued and increased support from member states, including financial contributions to the Trust Fund. This is needed for deployment of additional personnel to support the HNP as they recover communities from criminal gangs. Mr. President, we further call on the international community to significantly increase contributions to the humanitarian response plan for Haiti, which remains underfunded at 39% of target. Support to BNU must also be ramped up so that displaced families can be fed and provided with critical health care, and children can return to the classrooms to resume their education. Jamaica will continue to do what we are able. We will support our sister CARICOM nation in the effort to restore peace, security, and stability in Haiti and, by extension, the region. As Mr. President, Jamaica is seeking to comprehensively address the issue of gangs, crime, and violence in our own society, fully recognizing the compounding impact of transnational crime, including illicit trafficking in drugs, arms, and ammunition. We've embarked on a mission of transforming and strengthening our security forces and agencies while preserving human rights, increasing operational efficiency, and delivering high-quality policing services to the public. We have made significant improvements to the working conditions of our policemen and women, and the National Police College of Jamaica has now received the highest international accreditation for curriculum and quality of training. We continue to expand CCT networks in collaboration with our stakeholders, have increased mobility and introduced new equipment and technology, including forensics. We've also introduced new community policing models. The government is also undertaking social interventions in vulnerable communities. We've trained and certified approximately 40,000 at-risk youth and enrolled approximately 81,000 parents in parenting programs. We're also working closely with the private sector and NGOs to expand social services in vulnerable communities. On transnational organized crime, Jamaica has made substantial investments in advanced coastal radar systems and acquisition of offshore patrol vessels. We're also increasing the use of technology in securing our ports. Mr. President, as a result of these initiatives, major crimes have consistently declined to the lowest levels in 25 years. So far this year, there's been a 17% decline in homicides over last year. Jamaica is a safer place to live, work, raise families, and do business. We recognize that continued bilateral, regional, and multilateral cooperation, especially in the areas of training, intelligence sharing, and joint operations, is vital if we are to comprehensively and sustainably continue to reduce crime and violence. And in this regard, while we appreciate steps taken, we reiterate our call for more concrete action from bilateral partners to stem the illicit flow of small arms and ammunition from their ports. We welcome the recent outcome of the RevCon 4 on small arms and light weapons. More particularly, we welcome the emphasis placed on technical assistance and capacity building, customs control, emerging technologies, and through-life conventional ammunition management. These are all critically relevant matters to ultimately turning around crime-ridden inner-city communities into peaceful and prosperous ones. Mr. President, cybercrime is a major threat to citizen security and an obstacle to sustained economic development. International cooperation is necessary to address the matter of cybercrime. Jamaica actively participated in the negotiations together with our fellow CARICOM partners on the United Nations Convention on Cybercrime. We therefore look forward to the adoption of the convention by the General Assembly and look forward to future engagements within the framework of this instrument. In closing, Mr. President, Jamaica has taken difficult decisions and has taken responsibility for our economic future.
So guys, I hope you have watched and listened to that speech from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. She gave this speech during the United Nations Assembly, UN. And also guys, you have heard what she has come out and say, how Jamaicans, they are prepared to help also their neighboring country. Because guys, she came out and say, as Jamaicans, they are ready to help the country which they are experiencing fighting. For example, in Haiti, the Cuba, and what it is happening in Israel. So we know that recently the Jamaican soldiers, the Jamaican government decided to send Jamaican soldiers in Haiti to also bring peace, to help the Kenyan police who are in Haiti to bring peace. And also she has congratulated Kenya being one of the African country that they have gone beyond its continent to try to bring peace in Haiti. And for guys, I've been telling you that I know Jamaicans, they are ready to help their neighboring country, and also the same way the Kenyans, they are ready, the Kenyan police, they are also ready to help the Haitian as being of the black country. And we all know that Haiti, it is the predominantly a black nation, and being the black nation, we as black people, we need to support, and also we need to bring peace in Haiti. But for me, I don't love what it is happening between the Kenyan police and the Jamaican soldier, who they are really going to Haiti. Instead of Kenyan police and Jamaican soldier to go and help the Haitian people, they are heading to the Haiti to fight these people. And we all know that the Haiti, they are fighting their country back. They don't want the leaders to be turned puppet. They don't want the leaders to be controlled from outside. And this is one of the reasons to why the Haiti people, they are fighting this fight that is going on in Haiti. And also guys, you have heard how Jamaicans, from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, how she has come out and say how Jamaicans, they are prepared in terms of developing, in terms of reducing the crime in Jamaica. And for me, I really love to see Jamaican developing. I really love to see Jamaican becoming also the richest country in the Caribbean, because as far as I know, Jamaica, it is the most popular and famous country in the Caribbean. Talk about all the Caribbean, Jamaica, it is the outstanding, it is one of the famous and outstanding country in the Caribbean. And also, I keep on telling my Jamaican brother and sister, congratulations to how you people, you are managing, how you are making your country to be popular, how you are making your country to be famous. And also, you guys who know how to attract a lot of visitors to come in your country. And guys, I don't want to talk much about what is happening in Haiti, because I know the mistake that Jamaican did is to send their soldiers in Haiti, and also the same mistake that the Kenyan did is also to send their police in Haiti, because we know that this Jamaican soldier and the Kenyan police who are being sent in Haiti, they are going to fight the gangs in Haiti. And also I want them, although they are going to try and make Haiti to become peace, they are going to fight these gangs. They should fight those gangs who they are doing the bad activity, the criminal activity that it is not allowed that it is not good for the people. Because I know some of the Haiti gangs, they are really they are not bad as how it portrays or out in the news, but I know some of them, they are bad. So I want the Kenyan police and Jamaican soldier to fight those gangs who they are now abducting people, how they are now disturbing people. Those are the bad gangs that you Kenyan police and Jamaican soldier, you need to eliminate. But for those good gangs who they have good intention for their country, who they are fighting their country back, don't fight them. These are the people that we need to support them, because they are our brothers and sisters. There is no need of us going out there in Haiti killing our brothers and sisters. That it is not good. And also I know the Minister of Foreign Affairs, she has come out and said Jamaica is very ready to help the neighboring country. And guys, I think right now Jamaicans, they are now becoming more popular because of how they really want to help. And this is one of the good moves that Jamaicans, they are showing their neighboring country and all world, because I keep on telling you that Jamaica, it is that country which loves to support other country. Jamaica, it is that one country which also want to see other country their peace. And also most of the country that Jamaica, they really love, it is Africa. Jamaica love to see Africa becoming more stable. Africa, it is growing. Africa, it is developing. That it is one of the country in the Caribbean that I really love Jamaica, because how they love Africa. And guys, I want you to comment on the comment section if they say the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Jamaica, she has come out and say, according to her speech, is the things that she has come out and say true? It is happening in Jamaica, or I just want you guys to comment on the comment section so that we can engage more on the comment section. And also remember to like this video and also share with your friend, with your family, share it on TikTok, and also prefer this video to a lot of people so that it can go viral and a lot of people can know what it is going on in Jamaica. So thank you so much, guys. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.